Okay, some big news, and Liat and I certainly did spill some beans in the Grayscale webinar that we did last week. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I believe that Grayscale has released a link that you can view a recording of the session. So check it out if you'd like to. We talk about some really big topics, our overall strategy, how we plan on competing in this marketplace, and so forth. I'll talk about that a bit, but the really big news that we did talk about already, since it's out there already, I'll mention it here, is Horizen Labs just closed on a $6.6 million seed round. So a seed round in the VC parlance of fundraising is basically your first real round, your first real priced round. Now, Horizen Labs launched in 2019 with some private capital from VCs, including DCG, Liberty City Ventures, and we also had some private funding from team members that launched. That was all done in a convertible note round, not to get too much into the details here, but the seed round was the first time that VCs actually came in. We had a VC, Kinetic Capital, and DCG and Liberty City Ventures. The last two significantly stepped up their ownership in the company, and they priced the round. So this is different. This actually is now a professional kind of valuation of the company, how much it's worth, and they injected $6.6 million into the company. So this is huge because this cash is being used strictly for growth at this phase, and we have a lot of growth to do. What this means for the ecosystem is a heck of a lot more stability and a heck of a lot more software development. All right, so Horizen Labs is really the software dev arm of the ecosystem, at least so far, and it just took in a whole bunch of capital to expand. So we're focusing in particular this expansion on what we've been mentioning, this New York City office that we're building for product engineering. And this is, two real functions. I'll say we've talked about, 4 functions previously. I'll just collapse it now into 2. The 2 big functions: product verticalization for this group. So this is the group that will be kind of on the margin, piecing together, working with the Milan product engineering team, and they're going to be doing like products with customers. So when people want to deploy a blockchain in the Horizen ecosystem with our SDK, and they want to work with our very knowledgeable expert team, they'll be working primarily, at least this is where we're growing out the team. We're still a transatlantic team. But then the other big thing is a rapid deployment product team. So this is really geared towards ecosystem growth, looking at tools. And here's where I want to see a really big catch up. So I'm just mentioning it here. And over the coming months, you're going to see what I'm calling like a developing market type of catch up. So in economics literature, there's always kind of a when you're on the frontier, if you're a market on the economic frontier, not a frontier market, on the economic frontier of growth, right? You're a mature industrialized country. You typically have like a catch-up phase for other countries that are kind of further down that frontier. So those that are in the developing emerging market category, they can just look to what the industrialized countries have done and just mimic a lot of that and import the technology, import processes, know-how, all that kind of stuff. We're going to do exactly that in the crypto industry. So there's a lot out there in terms of open source software, a lot of tools, a lot of just know-how, processes, ways of doing things, how to create web wallets that act as authenticators for applications. There's a lot of that, and I want to import as much of it as quickly as we can. All right, so this is a big element of what we're going to be pumping a bunch of resources into, and there's going to be a very rapid catch-up period. Now, of course, this is very much conditional on building out a team that can do it. All right, so we're in process of that. We're making some headway, but it's going to take a little bit of time.